Hey everyone, it is Abby here. How are you guys doing? Hope this finds you all doing well. Um, you probably noticed some different things on our channel. It's under a little construction. I'm trying to revamp a few things, not make anything too different than what you're used to. Rearranged some playlists and updated some videos. And um, today I wanted to test out, obviously, I got this like black backdrop curtain um, that I put up for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Um, I've used it a couple times in customs I've made, but yeah, testing some new things out. I know a lot of you out there say that you can see the smoke better um, against the black and the dark. So we're going to give it a whirl. Be sure to leave in the comments what you think. Give it a thumbs up. Um, well, definitely not a thumbs down. But yeah, leave it in the comments and let me know what you think about the backdrop. Keep it, don't keep it, change it some way. Um, yeah, I love some feedback on it. But anyway, today we are back with our adventurous smoking fetish couple, Pam and Bruce. We have an update about the fertility clinic. Um, so, yeah, let's get into it. All right, so here's what Pam had to say. Said, Abby, things are moving so fast now. Sorry this is so long, but I did not want to leave anything out. Please feel free to cut this into 2 or 3 videos. I see the shops are full of the fall leather fashions. I think fall is my favorite time of year. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I wouldn't say I'd agree with you. I do like fall in some aspects, but I don't, because it just means that that next season that I just do not like with the cold weather is coming. So yeah, spring and summer are probably number 1 and number 2. Anyway, Bruce's report from the fertility clinic. 2 weeks after Bruce's and Grace's trip to the fertility clinic, the report from the clinic on Bruce's sperm count arrived. It's not good, Abby. Bruce's count of little swimmers are very low. He is not sterile, but low. We scheduled a visit to the doctor at the clinic. When we arrived, we were very well treated. A very pretty receptionist offered us a coffee or water. After only a few minutes, another medical intern came and sat and talked with us. If I did not know better, I would say these ladies were flirting with my Bruce. We were shown into a medical examining room where a very cute, well-groomed young male doctor greeted us. He was very well informed and offered a few tips. I would have preferred a lady doctor. He talked about keeping Bruce's testicles as cool as possible, no more, as he called them, tighty whities, boxers from now on. Cool shower only, no hot baths, and no hot tubs. That's horrible. There were more severe measures that could be taken, he said, but he did not go into details. He made suggestions on diet and, of course, asked Bruce if he smoked. He asked if he could inspect Bruce's boys. Bruce looked at me, and I told Bruce to drop his pants and shorts. I was desperate for a solution. It was then I realized Bruce was in his device. Both he and I often now forget he is in it. Well, at least I do. I said, Bruce, stop. I said, please don't take offense, but could we consult with a lady doctor? Of course, he said. I understand, and he left the examining room. A very good looking lady, mid 40s, walked in a few minutes later. She introduced herself as Dr. Judy, sat and read Bruce's file for a few minutes. Yes, all right, she said. Drop your pants, young man, and let's take a look. She slid on her chair close to my Bruce. She had a very nice perfume. I could have got I should have got the name of it. She was not shocked or even surprised to see Bruce in a chastity device. Dr. Judy looked at me when she said, Bruce, I am not going to put on my gloves for this part of the exam. I lose too much feel with the gloves on. I said, that's all right. She examined Bruce for a few minutes and said to me, has he been locked for long? 24/7 for the last 2 weeks, I replied. Was he in chastity before this last sample was extracted? Not really, I said, only a few days before. Bruce began to get turgid in his metal device. His skin began to push out around the chrome metal bars. I know why plastic chastity devices are not recommended. They break. Bruce, she said, bend over the table. We need to check your prostate. Bruce moved as fast as he could the few steps with his pants around his ankles and bent over the examining table. I thought I could put a pair of latex gloves on fast. She had her gloves on and the lube applied before you could blink. She pressed one hand on the small of his back to push him down to the cold metal table and hold him firmly there. She started with one finger and Bruce, after a few seconds, pushed in the other finger. I personally do not take that long to examine a prostate. She was working Bruce like she was getting the last pickle out of the jar. I have to give you kudos for that analogy. That's pretty great. Good, she said. Very good. She pulled out and wiped Bruce of any excess lube, removed her gloves, and threw them away. When Bruce turned to face me, he had a long dribble of fluid hanging from his cage. I wiped Bruce just like a mother wipes the dirty face of a child. Don't worry about that, Judy said. That is perfectly normal. Most men do that during my examinations. Bruce pulled up his underwear and pants. Bruce, can you go to the waiting room now? I need to talk to Pam. We waited a few minutes as Dr. Judy filled out the forms. She then said, let's go to my office. It is more comfortable. As we walked into her office, there were the degrees from universities that she had obtained and lots of pictures of her with beautiful babies. One picture caught my eye. Dr. Judy with another lady dressed up as a male doctor with full beards. I commented to her about the picture and she said, that is my wife and I, taken at a recent costume party, a charity ball for abused women, she said. I let it go. After we took our seats, Judy said, so why is he in a device? Are you trying to get his sperm count up? No, I said. He is a chronic and habitual masturbator. I said that with some authority in my voice. What triggers this problem? She asked. He has a smoking fetish. He likes... No, that's not a strong enough word for it. He is driven to watch women smoke. Do you smoke, Pam? She asked. Yes, but only when I want to excite him or on Sundays if he has met my weekly expectations of him. You should quit when you decide to get pregnant, she said. I agreed and told her that was my plan. While I cannot give you any help with the fetish capnolognia, that's a different branch of medicine, I can tell you about the effects of chastity on men. Thank you, Abby, for doing a video on capnolognia. I would have not known what she was talking about. Please, I said, I am very new to this. It is a misconception that long-term chastity will cause his manhood to shrink. Good, I said. I had heard that and was worried. That was just a rumor started by men that did not take well to chastity. But by holding the testicles away from the body, they will be cooler and his numbers should go up. It takes about 60 days to see any real increase. Any short-term increase is just because he is not abusing himself. She stopped and then said, "Daily?" with a question mark. "Daily," I said. "More like 3 times a day if I let him, and that's just the ones I know of." "Yes," she said, "he is a C and H. That is chronic and habitual," Judy said. She noted that on his file. "Pam, I noticed some tearing when I had examined him. Is he homosexual or are you pegging him?" "He is most certainly not homosexual. That's not that there's anything wrong with it," I added. "We have been experimenting with pegging," I said. It helps him to give him some relief when in the device for a long time." "What lube are you using on him, Pam?" "Coconut oil," I replied. "That can dry out after a few minutes of use. Try Crisco." I will never use Crisco again. "It's what we use here on the males to extract their samples. May I also suggest more lube or maybe a smaller appliance?" Appliance? She made it sound like I was using the effing kitchen stove on him. His file said that an older lady accompanied him during the last sample and that there were, some problems. "Yes," I explained. "A lady friend unlocked him and relocked him after the sample, as I could not be here and you cannot trust him out of his device. Let's just say there have been problems at his work and leave it at that. It seems the first sample bottle was dropped," I said, "and the second had to be taken." "That may explain the lower than normal numbers," Dr. Judy said. "Pam, I would like to supervise his next sample, say in 1 week, and we can see if his numbers are coming up. It will only take a few hours for our lab here to count his numbers." I said, "Dr. Judy, could I ask a question?" "Please, Pam," she said, "and just call me Judy. When you saw that Bruce was in a device, you were not surprised?" "Pam," she said, "we here at the clinic do not just do fertility testing on patients like Bruce. Many ladies have heard of the benefits of chastity, so we are seeing more males in devices." All right. Pause for beverage. My lovely coveted Diet Coke. All right. Remember, Pam, this is a fertility clinic, so we see increasing reports of infertile men all the time. We also do sperm donations here for insemination for our female clients. In fact, it's the largest part of our business. We ship male sperm worldwide. Our clients will pay a premium for samples for men in a certified chastity procurement program, CCPP for short. We naturally keep both keys here, and once every 2 weeks, these special males, she used air quotes around special males, come here to have their semen harvested. To ensure the quality of the sample, I or one of the nurses must supervise those males. The male doctor you met supervises, well, the other males that would prefer a male doctor to supervise them. If I may ask, how much would Bruce get paid for a sample? Well, Pam, with his education, genetics, and if we can get his sperm count up, $300 to $500 per donation. Genetics, I said. Yes, Pam, it's not just his blonde hair, blue eyes, and good looks. We here do a complete genetic profile on all our patients. It's in the fine print. That's why it took 2 weeks for the results to come back on your Bruce. He does not wear glasses, she asked. No, all his family have excellent vision. Very good, she said, and noted that on his file. If he has a large amount to donate and we could cut the sample, then maybe even more compensation. I thought back to what Grace said. They don't have big enough sample cups for men like Bruce. I was just reminded of the line in the movie Jaws. You're going to need a bigger boat. Pam, Dr. Judy said, Bruce is very well endowed. His genetics would bring a premium. I know you have been told size does not matter, but many women wish to give their male offspring all the advantages. It is starting to look good to pay the bills for our wedding. Maybe we could afford 2 meat dishes and an open bar, I thought. How did you know he is so gifted? I asked. You have only seen him in his device. Pam, I will be frank with you. We keep a camera on for each donation. It's to ensure the purity of each sample, of course. Afterward, it is erased. Well, that explained why I thought your front office staff were so nice to Bruce when we arrived. Well, he is a bit of a celebrity here, Judy remarked. I nodded. I wish I could have smoked in her office and watched the video of Grace and my Bruce together. 1 donation every 2 weeks will be a big disappointment for him, I said. Pam, our research has shown that every 2 weeks is optimal for production, but during the 24 hours here at the clinic, he will be harvested many times. He will need to stay overnight in one of our rooms, the doctor said. Bruce and I have settled into a very nice routine of rewarding him once a week. Would that have to stop? Pam, what a lady does behind closed doors with her man is none of my business, but both of his keys will stay here. We have a person on call 24 hours a day if it's an emergency and you need the keys. He would be put on a special diet at home. I hope no nasty drugs, I said, concerned for my man's health. No, she said, it's our special all-natural formula. We could be certified organic. We both laughed. He could lose a bit of that roll and tone up if he went to a gym. I know a gym in the city that specializes in men like Bruce. Men in Chastity, she said. We will need to be careful about your secondhand cigarette smoke. Pam, if tobacco shows up in his sample, he will be rejected. How much do you smoke a day, Pam? About a pack a week, I said. I did not mention the 2 cigars a week I enjoy. Have you ever thought of vaping? What? Give up my Virginia Slims, I thought? Let's go back to the Chastity Devices. Do many of the males come in with Chastity Devices? I asked. No, but it is becoming more common now that many ladies understand the benefits of this special lifestyle, the doctor said. You mean an FLR lifestyle? I said. Yes, Pam. I'm very glad you understand and have heard of FLR. I notice you have him in a rigid Chastity brand device. I have heard they are expensive. Yes, but I know the owner of the shop and I am paying it off in installments. I noticed he had been pierced. Where did you get that done at? I did him myself, I proudly said. Judy raised her eyebrows, then smiled. Could we talk about the donation procedure if he qualifies for the 2-week program? Of course, Judy said. What do you want to know? How is it done? Well, Pam, we start on Saturday mornings and he is released back to you on Sunday morning. That's normally enough time to recuperate for work Monday morning. We only take 4 males into the program at a time, but in about 4 weeks, we will have an opening. Our longest serving male is, well, you could say, being forced into retirement. How old is he? I asked. I asked because I wanted to know for how many years Bruce could perform for. Well, he is still in his prime, only 35 years old, Judy said, but his dom is going to neuter him. Really? She's going to do that herself? I thought to myself, maybe I could help. No, Judy said, my wife will help Suzette do it, I am sure. Forgive me, Pam. I should have used her first name. I knew how Suzette could afford the diamonds and the shoes. My wife is board certified to do operations like that. We are fully certified by the state to do the procedure here, but we have a medical room at a ladies' club downtown that we normally use for this type of operation. A ladies' club? I asked. Yes, the room was furnished by the benefactor of the club. It just seems right to do this operation under her watchful eye. But back to the program. The males are separated from each other when they arrive. After being in chastity for 2 weeks, the first 2 or 3 donations are, of course, very easy to extract. I did it again. All right. I nodded my head. The rest can get more difficult as the weekend goes by. We do not use a cup as he has seen too much chance for possible waste. We have them lie down on a milking bed, similar to a normal massage table, but very much longer and with a hole in the right place. His chastity device is then removed and we wash and sterilize the device. He is then washed. You have to be very careful with the washing. We don't want any unfortunate accidents. Then the extraction device is placed over his member and turned on. All right. I think we may just cut that there. And there will be a part 2. So you guys will have to stick around, come back, and check it out. We will see you guys real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.